Hey everybody, had a little bit of technical difficulty. It never is the same. It's always something different. It's kind of like raising children or herding cats. You think you've done it long enough that it'll be the same, but it isn't. So we're just a little bit late getting started and just got everything hooked up. We're ready to go. We're recording and we're off. So this is Jason Whitney, food scientist, specializing in metabolic syndrome and that's things like overweight, diabetes, digestive disorders, high blood pressure, cholesterol, basically most of the things that just makes America unhealthy. And we've been doing this for 6 years. 6 years? Wow, I don't know where that came from. We've been doing it for almost 12 years, working with doctors and clinics around the country, helping them help their patients with how to overcome the symptoms of metabolic syndrome without medication, surgeries, or the traditional Western medicine solution. We do it with food. Food's the cause, and food is the answer. It's just the right balance of those macronutrients that we call FPC, which stands for the ratio of fats, protein, and carbohydrates. So, thank you for coming. Last week, I introduced you to my grandson.
Hi.
Porter. Here, step up here a little bit. You look so small back there. And I know all of you are going, how in the world does Jason, that young, strapping gentleman that looks like he's 25, he's not buying it, have a 13-year-old grandson? It's because I got married when I was 11 years old. No, I'm not joking. Basically, it's because of healthy living, right? You don't seem to be too wild and crazy with my lifestyle, do you? Mm-hmm. No. So those are just some of the benefits you're looking forward to if you do some of the things that I have decided to follow, the wisdom of science and the benefits that it gives our body. So last week I introduced you to Porter, and he's staying with me for a little while, and he had a goal when you came, had something to do with his body and his health, and that goal is what?
To lose weight.
To lose weight. Now, when we talked about losing weight, we're really talking about losing
pounds.
And those pounds that we're losing are fat. Exactly. We don't want to lose muscle. We don't want to lose water. We'll look like a prune or a grape. We don't want to lose bone, because that means like we have to lose an arm or a leg or something. That's never any fun. We're talking about losing excess, too much, overdone it amounts of fat, right? Okay, so we started in, and we've had some good success. So let's see. We started on Friday. So today's Tuesday. So that's 7, 8, right? Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So that would be 10 full days. And in 10 full days, we have lost, we had lost 8.5 pounds. Now, this morning we got up and we lost one of those pounds. So we're only down about 7, little more than 7 pounds, which is still great in a period of time of only 10 days. I mean, that's awesome. Here, come up here. This is your moment of stardom, right? This is how you become a big YouTuber. Who knows? He could have he follows someone. He was introducing me. This is a segue. I know I'm getting off topic, but he introduced me to someone that's called, you know what? I better go close down my email, or I'm going to be getting these things forever. Yep, I know. Bear with me. We're okay. Whew. That was a close call. He introduced me to this guy. His name is
PewDiePie.
PewDiePie with a P. Not Cutie Pie, PewDiePie on YouTube, and he's from Sweden. Mm-hmm. Is he actually from Sweden, or is he just Swedish?
He is both. He's from Sweden, and he speaks Swedish.
Is he living in Sweden?
No, he's living in England, I think.
Okay, all right. So he's a Swede. I'm half Swedish. You're a quarter.
Yeah.
No, you're an eighth Swedish, right?
Mhm.
And he has a contest that he wanted another guy named
T-Series.
where do they get these names? And he's from
India.
India. And these guys have a competition of who can get to 100 million subscribers. That's 100 million subscribers first. Now, PewDiePie, he's been like the leader for how long?
Like 6 years.
6 years. The unpronounced king, and this guy, this T-Series, right?
Yes.
Wanted to challenge him, said, I bet I can get to 100 million before you can. So they had this little friendly competition.
Not friendly.
It's not friendly.
Not friendly.
They are battling it out, and I guess PewDiePie lost.
I'm not sure.
Oh, it came out that he lost, but that was April Fool's yesterday.
Yeah. So yeah, he made a video saying
Congratulatory.
saying congratulations,
Uh-huh.
but somehow he's like 5,000 more subscribers
Oh.
than T-Series.
Yeah, so that's a big deal. I completely was unaware, and I listened into PewDiePie's. I haven't listened into T-Series comments. You know what they talk about? Nothing.
That's not true.
Nothing that would substantiate the or increase the value of your life. They just talk about, it's just, I don't know, weird comedy and
Memes.
They talk about memes, and I know we live in a strange era, but there's 100 million people that want to follow them, right? So that's just, there's 200 million, one for T-Series and one for PewDiePie. How did I get on this topic? Why are we talking about this?
I think it's a pretty cool topic.
Yeah,
honestly.
I don't remember now. I kind of digressed on this topic. He was teaching me, and I'm teaching him, right? So he's giving me an inch. We're talking about how you can become a giant YouTuber, right?
Yes.
Before they got 100 million, they got one. They got to start from somewhere, right?
Yeah.
So this is how you do it. This is, you're cutting your teeth into your first one, so you can get 100 million.
Mhm.
You can beat him and get 150 million. Anyway, Porter has been at it. He's lost a great amount of weight. How easy has it been?
Not easy.
Okay, now let's identify what we're doing. Is we're basically following the protocol a little bit. Now, most of the time, Porter got in a bad habit of drinking a certain substance, a beverage, a lot at every meal, definitely, especially when I went out to a restaurant, and even at home, you drink this beverage. Yeah, what is it called? Soda pop?
I have a lot.
Yeah, what's one your main favorite?
I do love Mountain Dew Voltage, which is blue Mountain Dew.
Yeah, ouch. So tons and tons of carbs. How many of those would you think you'd drink a day?
A day? One.
Just one.
Just one.
All right. But the meals that he's eating is hard carbs, and he has a little bit of a sweet tooth. Yeah. So we cut that out right out of the gate. We just stopped the pop, and I wanted to give him a shake at least twice a day. A meal replacement shake that I tell you about, and it's been a little bit of a challenge. And he doesn't like the shakes. Now, after talking to him, it's not so much that he doesn't like the taste, he doesn't like drinking his food. That is unusual to him. And I understand that can be a challenge. Whenever someone has been doing something for a period of time and you come in and change it, you're disrupting their reality, their way of being, their common daily use of food in this case, right? And so it's not that the shakes taste bad. They taste fine, right?
Mm.
Yeah. And it's just that he's not used to, he likes chewing. He likes the taste of varying foods and the crunch and the texture, right?
Yes.
And then he likes that feeling. So this morning, we were talking about the shake. It was chocolate. What was the flavor?
Mint?
Mint, yeah. And he drank it all. One of the few times You drank it all, right?
Mm-hmm.
One of the few times he's finished the whole shake.
Yeah, I think that's actually the first.
Is the first time. Yeah, that was amazing. About, I don't know, 45 minutes later, you commented on how you felt. And you said you were
Satisfied.
You were full.
Yeah.
And now he would still prefer to have, what would you rather have had this morning?
Eggs,
bacon, right? Maybe
toast.
some of our toast or our bread. But it was not that would be bad. It's just that he'd eat that every day, right? And so I got to get him into getting used to having the shakes. And so it was a little bit of a challenge, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I was talking to his grandma yesterday because they're going out to eat dinner. And I was telling her about, what not to eat. And I said, yeah, he wants me to do this diet with him, and he really is motivated. He has asked me for his help or for my help. And right before the meal, when he's hungry, he hates me. After the meal, he doesn't hate me anymore, right? Because he's satisfied. But his cravings take over. And so that's what happens a lot of the time in your own life. So if you're not having a mentor, you're not having a coach that's helping you through this life, this diet change, you have to be that person and say, I'm going to hate myself a little bit right now because my hunger is driving my desire. My hunger is driving what I want to eat. That's why things like being hungry and going to the grocery store and shopping for food is not a good idea, because they've proven that you're gonna buy food that you wouldn't normally eat or want to eat simply because the cravings of hunger is driving you to make that purchase. And so set your mindset, hurry up and have the healthy food, because that craving will go away. And it did for you, right? So now that'll change in a few hours, right? Because lunch will be coming around. And he'll want
pizza.
He'll want chips. He'll want quesadillas. He'd want his normal stuff that he'd want, and he'd want a soda. So that will completely go away after he's had his shake. So he's got to learn this new way of listening to his body, and it just takes time. But he's been good. He's been cheating a little bit here and there, right? Last night he came back. He went out with grandma, had dinner. Even though they walked for about 3 miles around the park afterwards, he's up a pound a day. Now I want to teach you a little bit of science, body science. Is it possible that the body actually put on a pound of fat in a 12-hour period of time, from last night to this morning when we weighed? No, it's not. It's not possible. It's too fast. Body can't make fat that fast. What it's really recognizing is the weight of the food itself, and chances are he ate somewhere probably around 3/4 of a pound, maybe a pound of food max. And that food then has some secret things that it does. So let's just take the case of a carbohydrate. If he ate a carbohydrate, that carbohydrate, it gets broken down into a glucose molecule. That glucose molecule is kind of lonely, and it goes out and finds friends. How many friends does it find?
3. Well, 4.
4 friends. That now adds up to 5 elements. Now, just because of that simple fact, that's going to be 4 times heavier than it was when it was just a glucose molecule. It's going to go out and find 4 friends, and those 4 friends are?
The molecule.
What kind of molecule? We talked about it.
Glue?
No, this one's a glucose, and it goes and gets bonds to water. Yes. And that water cannot be used for anything else in your body until that glucose molecule gets broken from the water and gets digested and used, right? So that's why last night's pound is showing up to today. That water is just staying there waiting for the body to figure out what it's doing with it. If you eat more carbohydrates, while that, it's called glycogen weight, is bonded together, waiting for it to decide where it's going to go, whether it's going to be stored or whether it's going to be burned off, you can start then gaining fat. Because if you add to it more glucose, that's going to go bond with more water, making that water not available for other bodily functions, which can actually dehydrate you. You have water in there, but you're essentially dehydrated because it can't be used. It's all bonded with glucose. Then you will gain weight. So the secret to what we did, even though he did 3 miles, he's not going to burn off that water in a 3-mile walk. That comes later, right? So if you did another 3 miles today and another 3 miles tomorrow, then it'll break it off, right? Or the simple and fastest way is if you did an intermittent fast. So if you ever do that and you go out and you see that you climbed on the scale and you're like 4, 5, 6 pounds heavier, then you can do the math. Every pound is 454 grams of weight. That means you divide that by 4, and you got about 96 grams of carbohydrates per pound of body weight that you gained. That means you ate 96 grams of carbs. How did I know that he ate carbs? Because it showed up on the scale the next day. How many did he eat? He ate at least 96 grams of carbs because it went out and bonded with 4 water friends. That gave me my pound because that added up to 454 grams. Makes sense? Now, will it turn to fat? Nope, I'm not worried about it because I gave him a shake this morning. Yay! Right? That's one of the reasons I was really motivated because I know that he wants to get rid of that pound that he already had. He had that trophy. He says, what the crap? I don't want to give back the pound I already lost. Give it back to me. And this is a fast way to do it. What's the fastest way? Intermittent fasting. I could have him fast up till noon, just drinking water. Now, we could do that, but he's not been introduced to that yet, and that might cause a revolt. He might grab pitchforks, another weapon, hammers, nails, and foul language, and might chop my hair off when I'm sleeping. So to avoid that, I'm just kind of baby stepping my way into this. We'll do fasting later on. Okay, so that's how he put on a pound, but I'm not worried. We'll get rid of that by tomorrow, next day maybe, as long as we don't cheat. Okay, so where could have those carbs come from? He didn't have pop, right? It can come from probably because he went out for ribs. He had a little bit of barbecue sauce, but not a lot. Barbecue sauce always has sugars in it because it's sweet. And so that's probably where they came from. Because I kind of went through what else did he eat? And it was just
ribs and chicken.
Yeah, ribs and chicken. So it's the barbecue sauce. Darn it. So watch out because those carbs can sneak in the darndest places. Okay. Any questions? Any answers? Okay. All right. So now we're going to go on and we're going to talk about something else. We're going to talk about what us crazy people eat. I'm going to do some screen sharing. All right. And I'm going to go here, screen share, and I'm going to choose this one. All right. So what you see here is a graph. I'm going to make that a little bit bigger so you can see it better. All right. How's that? Yeah. Size matters. All right. So this is a poll, and this poll was 1,000 Americans. Now, granted, it was a few years ago, so it's worse, I imagine. It was 2005. It was done in the United States by ABC News, and it asked people, do you eat breakfast? So 18-year-old to 34-year-old over on the far left column, 53% of 18 to 34-year-olds eat breakfast. And then you'll see it goes up to 59, then 54, 71, and 83. 83 for people that are 65 years old and older. Why is that? Simply because they have more time. Most of them are going to be retired. They have time to eat breakfast. They have time to prepare it. Where you're younger, you have a career, you have a family, you have children. It's just hustle, bustle, got to get out of the house and out the door you go. So those that are under 55 years old, a little more than half of people are eating breakfast. The other half are not. Now, you know that I don't really care about whether you eat breakfast or not, unless you're just starting the diet protocol, right? So I need you to follow and eat breakfast while you're getting your body used to finding out where it's going to get its energy from. Sorry, I closed the wrong window. That's why I'm kind of stuttering and stammering here. So let's go back to this one. I want to open that window back up. Okay, there we go. So I'm gonna show you what this poll talked about, because Callie, my wife, just went to go. She actually went to go get some more equipment for our plant because we bought some heating racks, some equipment, and then we found out that the guy had no way to palletize them to get them on a truck. I know, crazy. So she has a friend down there, so she went down there to visit a friend and helped us out and took care of it. Well, while she's there, she discovered that they didn't have the best eating habits. Now, her friend was 37, 38 years old, and she had a roommate. She's not married. She has a roommate, and her roommate was 41. And so I want to kind of talk about what people are eating. So let's just do a little bit of math. Now, this what you see on the screen is still part of the survey that I just was talking about. And the numbers there is the percentage of people that do eat breakfast. What percentage of that 1,000 eat bacon and eggs? 11%. 9% eat eggs alone. 3% just eat bacon. Who eats just bacon? Well, some people are on a Porter eats just bacon, nothing else. Yeah, all right. Then ham and eggs and so on, okay? So I want to kind of focus on that next column where it says toast, bagel, French toast, muffins, pastries, pancakes, waffles. Okay, those are all high carb breakfast items, right? And these are the percentiles of those groups. So I'm going to scroll up a little bit because the number one breakfast choice, you see it there? Cold cereal at 31%, hot cereal at 9%. That's a total of 40%. 40% of people that eat breakfast eat cold cereal and hot cereal. Now, I told you about my wife Trip because she was there with her friend, friends from just years and years and years. And she was eating cereal. What kind of cereal do you ask? Well, honey bunches of oats, right? That kind of looks like a Cheerio, and it has sweetened little apple, or not apple, but cinnamon nuggets inside. I don't know how they make these things, right? But they are loaded with sugar. Basically 40-year-old women, both of them, eating kids cereal. Well, but they're not weird. They're not alone because 40% of adults are doing it too. Either they're having hot oatmeal, which is 9%, and 3 times higher than that are having cold cereal. And you'll see in the study that the number one choice of the cold cereal is Captain Crunch. These are adults. Wow. I don't like Captain Crunch because it cuts the roof of my mouth. It's like damaged after I eat a bowl. It tastes good, right? But even as a kid, I noticed, well, not my favorite. Anyway, all right, so we got 40% of the people are eating a high carb meal. That's all they're eating. So let's go down and check the next group. We got toast, bagels. Add this up with me. 5% are eating toast, 4% are eating bagel. That's 9%. French toast, there's 12. Muffins, 14. Help me, Porter. 16. And then 18%. Now, what else is nothing but carbs? They're eating fruit. 4% are just having fruit for breakfast. So we have 18 plus we're 4, right? We're at 22. Bananas at 24. Yogurt, they're loaded with sugar. There's 24 in a smoothie. Wow, you might as well have a soda pop. You've got 25%. Did I do that math right? 25? Okay. So 25, then we come back up here and add it to the 40%. Now, we don't have to pull out the calculator for this one. We just add 25 to 40 and we got 65% of the public are eating a high carb, low fat or no fat or low protein breakfast. Now, while she was there, they wanted to go hiking. It was in Arizona, spring in Arizona, all those beautiful desert flowers are coming out, so she goes hiking. For breakfast, her friend had that honey bunches of oats, right? Cereal. And then before, with milk, which is, again, 1 cup has about 15 to 18 grams of more, yeah, you guessed it, sugar. And then right before the hike, I think they went somewhere, it was like 11 o'clock or something, she grabs an apple. Now, you've heard me talk about, don't look at food as asking, is it healthy or not? Is this food going to give me what I need the food, or what I'm going to ask the body to perform for me? What's this food going to do to me chemically? What hormones is it going to produce? So for breakfast, it produced insulin, because the honey bunch of oats is all carbohydrates, glucose. And so insulin level goes way up. Inflammation is setting in. Then she followed up with an apple. It's not that it's unhealthy, but it just has no fat. It has no protein, and it's just more glucose. It's fructose, actually. And so now she just rode the wave of more glucose. When she goes to start burning off those calories from the hike, after that glucose is gone, she is not going to start burning fat because her body isn't adapted to it. Why? Because she's been eating cereal for years this way. Her body doesn't even know how to burn the fat. It's forgotten how. And so she's going to feel a lot weaker, a lot faster. And that's where Callie had to step in and say, you are not having that apple. Here, take one of my protein bars that she already had, has fat, had protein in it, very little carbs. Take this, you'll feel better. I don't want you not feeling well during our hike. But it's not just her friend. It's not just her 40-year-old roommate. It is America. I just showed you 65% of Americans that eat breakfast are about 30% are not having any breakfast at all. And I'm okay with. I'd rather have you not eat breakfast than you eat this, what 65% of Americans are eating. That's right. I'd rather have you starve till lunch, unless what you're going to eat is going to be the typical American lunch, which we will go over in a second. So here's what your all-time this is what the survey of 100 or 1,000 Americans asked. What is your all-time favorite thing to eat for breakfast? And the number one was peanut butter and banana sandwich. I love peanut butter banana sandwiches. Donut and a Coca-Cola. Are you kidding me? That is, wow. That's just over the top. Steak and eggs and make it medium rare. I'm all for that. Apple turnovers for breakfast. Ouch. Eggs Benedict. Love them. Graham crackers and hot tea. No protein, no fat, all carbs. There it is. Captain Crunch cereal. Remember, these are adults. These aren't kids. Pancakes with gravy. Okay, I've eaten a lot of food. I've never had pancakes with gravy. It made the list.
Sounds kind of good.
Yuck. 2 waffles, mashed potatoes, and some meat. Again, strange combination. Love all 3. Hard-boiled egg and an orange. Love the hard-boiled egg in the morning. Orange. Okay, I'd rather have orange, the whole orange, than orange juice, because that orange juice is just concentrated glucose without the fiber, right? Pork loin cheese, huevos rancheros, compapas. What's compapas? Do you know Spanish? I don't know what that is. Maybe that's like, I don't know. Any of you out there that know what compapas is, please tell me. Fresh shrimp, scrambled eggs, cashew waffles. Now, you know if they're having cashew waffles or having syrup, and that pushes that baby right over the top. Cold pizza. I thought this was interesting. I love cold pizza in the morning. Cold pizza with a glass of milk. Whoa, that's good. cereal, Reese's Puff, Cocoa Puffs, beer. Okay, I don't think they're saying beer cereal. They're just saying, let's have beer for breakfast. Yikes. Spaghetti, 4 to 5 cups of coffee, and nothing else. Okay. Liver and grits, bacon, scrambled eggs, and so on. All right. That's what made the list. So, folks, look at food as to what it's going to do to your body. All right. What chemicals is going to be secreted? Porter has admitted to me that he does, since he's been eating these foods, does feel better, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now he is a little discouraged, and he told me why. What are the reasons you're a little bit discouraged? You were talking about how you look. Like your face and how you're looking in the mirror.
Yeah. So, I mean, I've lost some weight.
Which you love.
Yeah, I love the like I'm not seeing much results in my body. Like on my face, I seem to I still look, like the same, and same with my body. So I mean, I like the number of where I am and how I've lost weight, but I just wish I could do more. I could lose more so you can tell a difference in my face and my body.
Okay, so basically what you're saying is I want to be able to show off the hard work that I've done,
mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And that just takes time. I know I'm fiddling with this screen here. I'm trying to get ready for the next portion, so please bear with me. I don't know what I did. And that can happen. That can happen that people are expecting fast results, because let's face it, we're a little bit impatient. We've become more impatient because of technology, because we get instant gratification. We can call somebody on the phone, we can text them instead of sending a letter, and that's to be expected. All right, so that's not too unusual. I'm trying to size this up so you can see this. Okay. So let's talk about what we're going to eat for lunch. Most Americans, the most popular lunch in America, there you see it, cheeseburgers. Number 2, hot dogs, PB&J, popcorn for lunch? Really? Club sandwich, Reuben sandwich, grilled cheese, BLT, chicken nugget, chicken tenders, both of which Porter loves, buffalo wings, hot wings, clam chowder, Chicago-style pizza, New York-style pizza, California thin crust pizza, basically just pizza, and chef salad, Cobb salad. Those are the top. Now, every one of those, pardon me, is a high-carb, high-fat combination. Now, remember, fat we love. We don't care about the fat so much. It's just when you buddy it up and make it part of a carb, that's when the fats become a problem. Carbs by themselves are not as dangerous as carbs with fat. And fat by itself is not dangerous at all. It's when you couple them together. And so probably let's just do the most healthy breakfast, if you wanted to put healthy on there for losing weight and not having high insulin, is the very last one. Well, the last 2 would be the chef salad, Cobb salad, not because they're salads, because the amount of carbohydrates that are in them. With a Cobb salad, I've got some bacon, I've got some meat in there, whether it be turkey or ham. Chef salad, I've got some eggs in there with some ham or turkey. So I would choose that. Other than that, if you go up above, the next choice I'm going to go with is, let's assume I can ditch the bun on the cheeseburger and the bun on the hot dog, and I'd eat those by themselves, right? Then I've got higher fat, higher protein, and 0 carbs. That would be your next best bet. But the most popular lunch, now this isn't lunch, this isn't dinner. Americans go for chocolate chip cookie, donuts, brownies, oatmeal raisin cookies, love those, s'mores, Oreo cookies, Jell-O. Really? You like having Jell-O for lunch?
I actually don't even like Jell-O.
Yeah, Jell-O. Well, all Jell-O is collagen, beef and horse hooves with sugar. Boston cream pie, love it. Key lime pie, only like it from Louisiana because they know how to do a rat. And pecan pie, or pecan, however you like pronounce it. Beverage number one for lunch, soda. That's where you were at, right? But instead of the Coke, number one choice, yours was Mountain Dew with a twist because you added extra caffeine in it. Bourbon for lunch? Wow. Milkshakes, smoothies, and that's what Americans eat. So let's just kind of put this together. We've got a high carb, low or no protein breakfast, right? And we're I don't even know where my monitor is at now. Let's get rid of this. That's still not helping us any. Let's go back down here. Will this help us out? Wow, look how big that is. I have a giant head. All right, so what's happening is people are having these high carb breakfast cereal, right? 65% that have breakfast are having a high carb breakfast. You got to change that. Then they're following up with a high carb, high fat, wrong kind of fat lunch. And then do you think, I didn't go in to look at dinners, but do you think they're going to suddenly change and start having a low carb, low insulin producing dinner? I mean, if they ate one way for breakfast and lunch, what do you think?
They're going to eat the same.
They're going to eat the same for dinner. So my cohort and me, both are on the same page. That in and of itself is amazing that we're on the same high five in it, right? But my goal is to get you to just make some slight changes. Just drop those carbs, drop them down, and remember that you can't put on fat that fast. If you do go out and party, I want you to enjoy food. Just how do you snap back in? How does Porter get rid of that 100 grams of carbs that he had so he can get back on his weight loss program? He could fast till lunch or go right back on the shake. Don't add anything to it that's going to be carbs, and your body will take care of the rest. Stay with it. Don't give up, and pass the good word around. Callie did pass the word around. She, with love and support, kind of said, friend, you got to change your lifestyle. You'll feel better. So that's my message. I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that you showed up. Pass it on to your friends, to your neighbors, to your family. And let me just check and see if there's any questions on our email. Thanks, Bob. Appreciate it. Everybody, Bob liked Porter's input. And so it looks like, I don't know, we'll probably lose everybody after he leaves. So thanks again. We love you. Care about your health. Care about yourself. And we'll see you next week.
Bro fist.
I don't even know what that means.